Hello everyone, it's Foo here, and today I want to talk about some unexpected buffs to Latias and Latios' signature moves in the Indigo Disk DLC. I neglected to mention this in my previous video about buffs in the Indigo Disk DLC, so thank you to all the commenters who made me very aware of this buff. Latios and Latias each have their own signature move, both being psychic type moves. Latios has Luster Purge and Latias has Mist Ball. In previous generations, these have been relatively weak because they're 70 base power, which is much less powerful than Psychic, so both Pokemon generally opted to run Psychic over either of these two moves. However, in the Indigo Disk DLC, they have been buffed to 95 base power, which is a significant damage buff, and it makes them more powerful than Psychic, which is a reason to use them in its own right. Not only that, they both have secondary effects, which remain the same in the Indigo Disk DLC. Latios' Luster Purge has a 50% chance to drop the opponent's special defense, which is an incredibly powerful secondary effect for such a powerful special attacker. If it activates, it means that you can probably blast through certain Pokemon that you otherwise wouldn't be able to beat. And with a 50% activation rate, that's actually going to happen relatively frequently. So this is really strong. And since the power buff, we'll be seeing this a lot, so expect a lot of Latios sweeping. For Latias, Mist Ball has a 50% chance to reduce the opponent's special attack, which is not quite as powerful as Luster Purge. It doesn't help you take the opponent out any quicker. It just means that you potentially reduce their damage output, but only if they're a special attacker. If they're a physical attacker, it's not going to help you out at all, really. So that's why it's generally weaker than Luster Purge. However, it does make sense for Latias. Latias is bulkier than Latios, so really with Latias, the reason you're using it over Latios is because you probably want to set up or do utility things, and so Mist Ball kind of fits that role a bit better than Luster Purge. But in the same vein, Latias has a number of other options that it can use on setup sets. Specifically, Stored Power is seen relatively frequently with Latias. Because you're getting those stat boosts with Calm Mind, for example, your Stored Power can become much more powerful. So you might see Stored Power used over it. Another option is Draining Kiss. Now that we have Terastallization, you can boost up and then Terastallize into a Fairy type and go for some relatively powerful Draining Kisses, which give you a ton of healing at the same time as damaging the opponent. And Draining Kiss is new to Latias as a buff this generation, so that's pretty cool. Psyshock is another way to win a Calm Mind war because it hits on the physical side rather than the special side. So as you can see, for Latias, there are a number of other options outside of Mist Ball that all have their own merits. So I really don't think we'll be seeing Mist Ball as frequently as we'll be seeing Luster Purge on Latios. Like, Luster Purge on Latios is just going to be on basically every Latios set, whereas that's definitely not the case for Mist Ball and Latias. All in all, both Latios and Latias are looking stronger than ever. I mentioned Latios getting Flip Turn in my previous video, which is a really great buff for any Choice Scarf or Choice Spec sets, and then Latias has all of these options for really great setup sets. That's going to be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more Indigo Disk DLC content. All that's left to be said is I've been Foo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.